Hello everybody, it's Eileen from Now There's a Crafty Idea, and I am back with a little craft with me, ephemera making, just general messing about. So I'm going to make these file folders. Now I've been, one of my subbies who has got her own YouTube channel makes these beautiful journals, and I got this idea from watching hers. I hope you don't mind, JoBeth. But she uses them as pockets in our journals, and they're just like a little file folder. So I've been working on them. So if you want to check out everything, and I suggest you do, because she's really good, JoBeth Sexton's Crafty Cauldron. I'm going to drop a link down below. Go and check her out. She hasn't been very well just lately, so I'm sure that it would make her feel much better to have lots of new people popping by. So yeah, it'd be really nice, and I would appreciate that. And she has, like I said, she makes these most beautiful journals, and she does live streams, which is something that I'm terrified to do. I hate doing them, because you know what I'm like. I'm just so clumsy and so forgetful. But she also does a colouring in live stream. Now I've never watched one before, and I thought I'll give it a go, because I like colouring in too. You know, it's something that I like, sitting doing art therapy. And I sat and watched it, and there was a live chat on it, and oh, how much fun and so relaxing. And it was just, everybody there was so sweet and nice, and the picture that she was colouring was a mermaid one, and we just had lots of chat about mermaids and old legends and things. And oh, so pop across and check her out, she's really good. So they're just quite simple, these, but I never thought to use them as a pocket. So you would have the pocket behind, and then you could either leave this so that it flaps down and you've got journaling space, or you could glue it there and then you've got two pockets. So how clever is that? I mean, if you look at that, that would be one pocket, two pockets, or one pocket and journaling space. So I wanted to make a couple for the sewing journal. So I've been, you can see me little buttons that I've been digging out. These are vintage buttons, right? I used to play, my mum had this tin, and she would not throw a button away. So if there was a piece of clothing that was torn, or if there was a piece of clothing that was no good and she was going to put it in the bin, she would take every last button off it first. And I used to play with these buttons when I was a little toddler. When I was a kid, I used to love how a little tin, I thought it was treasure, a little tin of old buttons, mismatched, broken, you know, just vintage. So these are actually vintage from at least the 70s. Goodness knows how long she kept that tin before she had me. So yeah, proper vintage buttons. So I've bought them out because I was thinking I might use them in some way. Okay, so enough chit chat, let's get on with it. Now when I was doing the Lucky Lou, when I was starting the sewing journal, I found this page and I didn't know what to do with it, because it is beautiful. It's scrapbook paper, there's scrapbook card. It's just blank on the back, and it's like it's got a packaging paper feel, which is really, it's very tactile. It's just got such a lovely feel, and oh, it's gorgeous. So I thought I wanted to use it, but I wasn't sure how to use it, because I didn't want to cut this lady in half. And I was thinking, well, if I make the file folders, I can cut it down that way, and then I'm only cutting off a bit of her arm, so I'm going to do that. So excuse me while I just lean over. And this is probably just going to be a quick one, because I just wanted to get one of these done, and I thought I'd bring you along to show you. I might make two, depends, we'll see how it goes. So I was thinking, maybe, I'm trying to figure out the size of this. Hold on, where's me? See, this is why I can't do live streams, because I can't find anything. There it is. Okay. Now, these are, I'm trying to think of the size of a page. Right, my pages are going to be smaller, so I'm probably going to do these a bit smaller, because this would be okay for a full-size journal. It might be just slightly big on a full-size journal, might be okay, I don't know. But I'm going to make these ones a bit smaller, so I'm going to aim for about 5 inches, which would be 12.5 centimeters, or 12.25. So we'll do that. Okay, so you probably can't see, I'm probably off camera. I'm just going to move everything, knock everything over. So other way around, Eileen. So we're going to say 12.5. It's about there. Okay, that's not too bad. I've cut my sewing machine in half, but that's alright. We can survive. Let's just pop that down a second until I decide whether I need it. Put everything back where it's supposed to be. I've got bits of this and bits of that everywhere. Right, okay. This is the second video I'm doing today and I've just got stuff everywhere. You know what I'm like. So we've saved our lady anyway. I didn't even cut off part of her arm, so she's fine. We'll use her for something else. So this is the bit I'm looking at, and possibly the sewing machine as well. So if we see, we are at, well, it's 30 centimetres, isn't it? It's 12 by 12. No. I'm just not with it today. So if I do it 20, yeah, okay, right. Let's get this cutting board out again. I knew I shouldn't have put it away. Right, okay. And this time I'll try and get you in shot. Alright, okay, so then let's see, if we go about there, 15 should just about do it. This cutting board is so big I can't get it in shot, so I do apologise if you can't see what I'm doing. Oh, and I've got a creaky chair as well. Right, that's looking good. Right, now what I want is this edge. Now you can, I'm sure, I'm trying to think where I've seen them. The envelope makers can make these edges. I don't have an envelope maker, so I am going to do it the old way, and I'm going to draw. So let's just turn these over. So I want opposite sides. Let me just get this right, because it wouldn't be the first time I've done this wrong. Okay, let's start off with this corner, and I don't think I want them quite as wide as this one, so I will pull it in a little bit. So let's just draw that bit there, and then I want to pull that in, so it's about there, about halfway, let's say halfway, and then we'll just quickly draw that. There we are, and that should give us our shape on that side. Now if we turn it round and do exactly the same. Could I have cracked it? Could I? Possibly. But hey, now we're going to go about half. Now this is going to mean that they're not going to match up perfectly, but you know what, I can live with that. It's a junk journal, it's not supposed to match up perfectly. That's okay, that's not too bad. Do the same on this one. I keep a load of templates. I know there's lots of wonderful machines out there and different ways of doing things and using this cutter and that cutter, but to be honest with you, I just keep a file folder full of templates, which is the way I learned to do it in the first place, because before all this wonderful gadgetry came out, it was pretty much template and pencil. So I'm afraid I'll stick with the template and pencil, just because well, for one thing, I don't have all of the little gadgets. I wouldn't mind one of those envelope makers. Maybe I'll have to put that on my Christmas list. Right, but yeah, I just think it's quicker sometimes just to do this. Maybe not as precise, but you know what? Like I said, it's a junk journal. It's not about being precise, is it? I've just finished the one that I've been working on off camera, and it's a I don't know if anybody's seen it, but Gail Agostinelli made a lovely, I think it's Vintage Playtime or Playtime Vintage or something like that. It's a digital pack, and it came out, and you can use them as pages or as tear sheets. So I've made a lovely journal with it, and I'm gonna like upload that and show you, because it's just, I'm in love with it. But I must spend some time and put some stuff on Etsy, because I've got a ton of stuff that I need to put on Etsy and I still haven't done it. I need to update everything. So I've really enjoyed making that one, because I had a proper vintage children's storybook as well, with some gorgeous images in, and I've been dying to use it. I did put some of the pages into the vintage paper packs that I put on Etsy. but the images are just so gorgeous. I had to find some way of using it, so I've used that kit because it is about like it's not a children's kit, it's about joyful vintage playtime of the past. And I just thought, wouldn't that be a lovely journal for someone if you wanted to, you know, journal about children, grandchildren, your own childhood, anything like that. Right, now let's see. Now I've ended up doing them opposite to the example. Well, I suppose it doesn't really matter. You can, oh no. See, on this one, this page is lower than the other one. So am I going to do it like that? Let's see. I'll do it that way. And then, yeah, that'll be deep enough. Right, again, I am just going to eyeball this, folks. You know what I'm like. I know everybody's probably screaming, saying, get your scoreboard, it'll be kinder to the paper. Yeah. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm really liking that. And you can see the sewing machine, so that's great. So let's do this one. Right. That's it. And I like that it's slightly offset from the top and not the same. It's not all same, because that gives you, one, it gives you added an added aesthetic point to it, but also it means that this is, you can use this, it'll be completely separate to the pocket, so you're not going to be getting caught up on that. I like that too. I was going to decorate them, but you know what, I don't think I will. I think what I'll do is I'll decorate the ephemera that's going inside them. And then I'll have to decide whether I want it to be a flip down or whether I want it to be a double pocket. But I'll tell you what, let's ink it up and let's see what it looks like inked up. Because I think inking everything just, it brings it to life. It gives it a whole different aesthetic, and it defines everything. So you can see exactly, I know I'm inking that and it's probably going to be glued to the page, but just in case. Because you never know, I might change my mind and just put them in as file folders. But yeah, inking just gives it that extra little bit of definition. And then you can really see what you've been doing. Okay. Oh yeah, that's much better inked up. And yeah, you know what, I quite like that just as it is. I don't think I'm going to do anything else to it, because I really do like it. I mean, I did have, let me see, what are the things that I had? I was maybe going to pop a bit of this on, just maybe across like that. Would that look okay if it got inked up in that? Well, I'll tell you what, let's trim it and ink it and see what it looks like. This again is just a bit off the edge of one of my old vintage patterns. So yeah, it's waste not, want not. I'm trying to use as much vintage ephemera as possible with this one, because again, I'm not using a kit, so I want the ephemera to be the kit, as it were, if you know what I mean. And I've got all this lovely sewing ephemera that I've collected for years, because I am very into sewing. Actually, I quite like that, and I think that'll just finish that off. Yeah, and oh, maybe. In case you didn't get that, folks, that was no. Okay, let's get some glue on this baby, and that might just finish that one off, and then we'll have to think of something to do with the other one, because I do like the decoration of this paper, sorry. I didn't want to do too much to it. I didn't want it to be too heavily embellished. There we go. I'm just going to trim that little bit at the edge. Okay, yeah, I think that finishes that lovely. And that's going to be a nice little, yeah, might pop a word there. I'll have to think about that one. Now this one, let's see. Just pop that glue away. Come here, glue, don't roll away. Let's give this a little ink and then we'll decide what to do with this one. Yeah, those old patterns, I've had them for years, and was putting together a pack because I knew I wanted to do a sewing craft type of journal. I was going to like amalgamate it and do sewing, quilting and everything, but to be fair, I want to keep that separate. I'm going to do a separate quilting journal because I've got some lovely quilting patterns, some vintage ones that I thought, well, that'll make a lovely journal. And I've still got a few pieces of that old quilt, the vintage quilt that I managed to get, or I was given, I should say, by a friend. So I was thinking I might do that separate, and this might just turn into a sewing one. Right, let's see. I've got some bits that I've been keeping aside that I've just cut out. That's an old, see, that's an old, it's an old advertisement. That looks quite nice there, doesn't it? I'd have to vintage it up a bit. I mean, it is vintage, but it needs just a little something. Let's just cut this down a little. You can see how old it is because it was 2 and 7. I have no idea what that is in old money, but I know it is old money. 2 and 7. That might look quite cute just there, or even, I like it there actually. That's too big. Turnings are allowed on this pattern. I like that. No, I think, you know what, we'll stick with our 2 little bits. So let's see what we can do with this one. This is just an old advertisement that came with one of the patterns, so I've cut it out, and it's cool, I like it. It's for English Sewing Cotton Limited, Silco. Sew it with Silco and Trilco. Silco and Trilco. Sounds like an old comedy act, doesn't it? Right, I'm just going to run a little bit of this just to take away some of that white. Oh yeah, that's better, much better. Right, come here, glue. Oh, I guess we're getting to the end. Yeah, it would seem so. Oh, go back in. There we go. Right. Okay. Just pop you down here. And then we're not losing too much of that lovely image, but it just gives it a little bit. Have I done that a bit skewy? Let's just manipulate it a little. There we are. There we go. Right, let's get this 2 and 7. I wonder how much that is in new money. In case you're not sure what I'm on about, the English monetary system changed in the 70s, I think it was 71, and we used to have, I can't remember what they called it, what the old system was called, and it turned to the system that we've got now, which is sterling. So old money, 2 and 7, 2 and 6, 2 and, what was the other one? Halfpenny piece. Oh, I wasn't born until after it happened, so I have no idea. I'm quite liking them. I quite like the simplicity of them, and they're going to look great in the journal as pockets. So there's another couple of pieces of ephemera we've made, and I'm going to call it quits there because I've got a mess, and before I do anything else I need to tidy this mess up. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed watching me do that. I hope you've enjoyed making them. Give these a go. They're a really great idea, and pop across and see JoBeth because she has some really great ideas in her journals, and I really enjoy crafting along with her. And I like I said, you've got to watch one of our colouring live streams. So relaxing, and considering how stressed I've been just lately with everything that's going on in the world, and with this injury and that injury, and my head just exploded. So sitting watching a lovely gentle live stream and having a chat, and it was just really nice. So give it a go and make some of these, because they're great, and I can't wait to pop them into our journal. So please stay safe, be well, and happy crafting. Bye.